Conspiracy on Pinewood Lane. I'll never forget the moment I pulled into my driveway after a long weekend away. It was a crisp October evening in 2023, and I'd just dropped my nephew, Ethan, off at Colorado State University. My 20-acre ranch in Pinewood Valley, Colorado, was supposed to be my sanctuary, a quiet slice of heaven where I could tinker with my old Jeep and breathe free after 25 years in the Army. But as my truck's headlights swept across the property line, my heart stopped. A massive 10-foot chain-link fence, topped with razor-sharp barbed wire, encircled my entire ranch. It wasn't just a fence, it was a fortress, the kind you'd see around a maximum security prison. My hands shook as I gripped the steering wheel, my pulse hammering in my ears. I was trapped, caged on my own land like some kind of animal. The HOA president, Karen Mitchell, thought she could lock me in without so much as a phone call. Little did I know, that fence was about to become the greatest gift she could have handed me, the key to unraveling a conspiracy that would shake my world to its core. I sat there in my truck, staring at the steel monstrosity, my mind racing. What in the hell is this? I muttered, my voice bouncing off the metal posts that had sprouted overnight like some twisted crop. My Army training kicked in document everything, especially when something smells like trouble. I whipped out my phone, hit record, and started a live stream. Hey, folks, this is Jake Turner, I said, trying to keep my voice steady as the viewer count ticked up 10, 50, 200 people watching in real time. Y'all aren't gonna believe what I just came home to. The fence wasn't just tall. It was built to last: concrete footings, industrial-grade posts, and a high-tech electronic gate with a keypad that looked like it belonged on a bank vault. Signs screamed, "Authorized personnel only," in bold red letters. But there wasn't a single worker, truck, or piece of equipment in sight. Just my ranch, locked up tighter than a military base, with me standing outside like a stranger on my own property. I walked the perimeter, narrating every detail for my growing audience. "Check this out," I said, zooming in on a permit taped to the gate. "Emergency Utility Access Permit CO 576291, 30-day temporary installation." It looked official, but something was off. The date was yesterday, and the signature seemed photocopied, smudged like it had been reused one too many times. I called the county number on the permit right there on the stream, my blood boiling as the clerk gave me the runaround. "Sir, you'll need to file an inquiry during business hours, Monday through Friday," she droned. "Business hours?" I shot back. "This says emergency work," her robotic reply. "I can only provide details during regular hours. Emergency work that can only be explained on a 9 to 5 schedule?" My viewers, now over 500, were eating it up, comments flying. "Call the cops. This is insane. Sue them." That's when Karen Mitchell rolled up in her shiny silver BMW, stepping out like she owned the whole valley. She had that polished HOA president swagger, all crisp blazer and practiced smile. "Karen," I called, keeping my phone trained on her. "Care to explain this to my 600 viewers?" Her face tightened, but she launched into her script. "This is a temporary utility access for community safety improvements, all properly permitted." I wasn't buying it, and neither was my audience. "What kind of emergency needs a fence built overnight?" I pressed. Her jaw clenched. "Drainage issues threatening neighborhood flood safety," she said, like she'd rehearsed it. The neighbors started poking their heads out, old Mrs. Clara from next door, Tom who runs the local diner, all drawn to the commotion. My stream hit 800 viewers, and the energy was electric. But then, something made my skin crawl. A black SUV with tinted windows parked across the street, engine idling, no one getting out. "Y'all see that?" I whispered into the camera. "Who's watching me right now?" And just like that, my stream cut off, full signal, full battery, but dead. I barely slept that weekend, half expecting that SUV to reappear every time I glanced out my window. By Monday, I was done waiting. I called my buddy, Mike Salazar, a paralegal at a title company who owed me a favor after I helped him through a rough move last year. "Mike, I need everything the county has on my property," I told him. "This fence is just the start of something bigger." We met at the courthouse, and what he showed me turned my world upside down. My ranch held a 50-foot easement, the only paved access road to the entire Pinewood Estate subdivision, 52 houses in all. For 20 years, those folks had been using my private road, thinking it was public. Legally, I could charge every single one of them access fees. The alternative was a winding county road that added 20 minutes to their commute and crossed a rickety bridge barely rated for school buses. But that wasn't the half of it. Mike pulled up the permit on his laptop, and the whole thing unraveled. No drainage complaints, no inspections, no emergency declarations. The permit was supposedly issued on a Sunday when the county office was closed, signed by an official who was out of state that day. The contractor didn't even exist in the state database. "Jake," Mike said, his eyes wide. "This isn't a mix-up. This is fraud." I was livid, but I kept my cool and posted another video, laying out the evidence. The fake permit, the non-existent contractor, the whole shady setup. Within hours, it had 3,000 views and 250 shares. The neighborhood group chat was a war-zone. Team Jake growing with comments like, "This is nuts. What's the HOA hiding?" While Karen's supporters clung to, "We trust our leadership." Meanwhile, Mike dug into Karen's employer, Horizon Realty LLC, and found a pattern that made my stomach churn. Over 3 years, they'd bought 15 properties in our area, all from homeowners hit with HOA violations, all 25% below market value, all flipped for commercial development. My ranch was smack in the middle of their target zone. Then things got weirder. My latest video exploded to 15,000 views in hours, but the comments were frantic. "Jake, someone's at your house. Check your back door." My security app showed a guy in a county uniform, clipboard in hand, measuring my property lines and snapping photos. He'd gotten through the locked gate. Someone had given him a key. I called the county, and their response was chilling. "No work orders for your address, sir. No orders, no inspections, no reason for him to be there." Mike and I raced back to my ranch, my mind spinning. What if the fence was a distraction? What if they wanted me focused on it while they did something else? The county moved fast, probably spooked by the publicity. Within 48 hours, the building commissioner called. "Permit CO 576291 is revoked. Multiple violations, forged signatures, fake contractor, no environmental study." Karen had 72 hours to remove the fence or face $600 daily fines. She lawyered up with a fancy firm, trying to delay removal and get this demanding I pay for it, claiming my frivolous complaints caused the mess. I countered with a lawsuit for damages, trespassing, and legal fees, backed by Mike's lawyer friend. My videos were now viral, hitting 20,000 views, and local news stations were calling. The hashtag Pinewood Gate was trending, and the community was fed up. Tom's Diner was losing customers from the media circus, and Mrs. Clara just wanted her quiet retirement back. I saw my chance and took it. I set up Turner Road Maintenance LLC, charging $40 a month for easement access, with clear signs pointing to the county road alternative. It wasn't revenge, it was business. 35 households paid up right away, happy to avoid the long detour. The rest dug in, calling it extortion, but the extra 20 minutes and delivery fees wore them down. Karen's life was imploding. $9,000 in my legal fees, $3,000 in damages, $8,000 in her own attorney costs, and a state ethics review that tanked her real estate license. Her husband was done, their credit cards maxed, and she sold her designer handbags to scrape by. At an emergency HOA meeting, 40 of 52 members showed UPA record. Tom, the treasurer, called out the legal bills risking bankruptcy. Mrs. Clara moved to oust Karen as president, and the vote was a landslide, 32-8. Tom took over, endorsing my road program as a community benefit. Just like that, the HOA flipped from enemy to ally. But the real bombshell came when I bought Karen's foreclosed house at auction for $295, $120, $000 below market. The auctioneer's assistant pulled me aside, whispering, "Someone's been paying her mortgage to force this sale." Pinewood Holdings LLC, another shell company, had orchestrated it, ensuring I won the bid. Mike's research uncovered a chilling pattern. 10 communities, same playbook: property disputes, easements, military veterans ending up in control. The surveyor, the lawyer, the permit fraud, all tied to Pinewood Holdings. Then came the call that flipped everything. "Mike," voice shaking. "Jake, the CEO of Pinewood Holdings is Colonel Robert Vance, your old CO from Afghanistan. He's been buying properties near military bases. This isn't about real estate. It's something bigger. Vance summoned me to a nondescript office in downtown Denver. He greeted me like we were back in Kabul, all smiles and military swagger. "Outstanding work, Turner," he said, sliding a folder of photos at the fence at the courthouse, installing my gate. "You secured the asset exactly as planned." My ranch wasn't just home. It was a choke point for a classified tech facility 10 miles away, developing surveillance gear for the Pentagon. The fence drama was engineered to give me legal control, all under the guise of a civilian dispute. Karen was a pawn, her every move scripted by Vance's team. Bad legal advice, fake permits, even her financial ruin, all to clear the board for me. He offered me a choice: join as a consultant with a fat salary and restored security clearance, or face complications for knowing too much. I walked out, phone secretly recording, and handed everything to the Netflix crew filming my story. The documentary became an expose, revealing Pinewood Holdings' $250 million operation targeting veterans for control of strategic assets. My testimony sparked congressional hearings, and Vance was court-martialed, sentenced to 12 years. A $20 million settlement fund helped affected communities, including $250,000 for Karen, who bought a modest condo and started over. I kept my ranch and her old house, now rented to a military family. Pinewood Valley is peaceful now, my road system running smoothly, but I'll never see a property dispute the same way. I was a soldier in someone else's war, played like a pawn until I refused to play at all. So what do you think? Was I a hero for exposing this, or a fool for walking into their trap? Should Karen have fought harder, or was she just another victim? And what about those shell companies? Are they really gone, or just hiding under new names? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe to hear more stories that'll make you question everything. What's really going on behind the scenes in your neighborhood?